In Southern California, it's LA Galaxy and CS Herediano of Costa Rica in the second leg of the round of 16, with Herediano carrying a 1-0 lead and looking to eliminate a second consecutive MLS team from this year's tournament. I'm Donnie Barnes. We see the weather conditions in the Los Angeles area tonight. It's been cool and overcast throughout the day. A few showers sprinkled in, so not a stereotypical balmy, warm LA weather tonight. And we'll see if it impacts the players at all. Still decent conditions for soccer. Unfortunately, the rain has been holding off this evening after some sprinkles earlier today. This is a fascinating game tonight because while Herediano are very much the underdogs in this matchup, they're actually in a really good position coming into this second leg. And it's the LA Galaxy who have a lot of questions to answer after a terrible start to their season. The Galaxy, of course, the defending MLS Cup champions. They won their record 6th MLS title last year, but Greg Vanney and his side have had a very difficult start to 2025. After returning to the top of the league after nearly a decade of drift and mediocrity, that qualified them for this competition for the first time since the 2015-16 edition, which again shows how difficult it is just to qualify for this tournament, and also how far the Galaxy had fallen from their previous perch. LA won this competition back in the year 2000. They're still one of only 3 MLS sides to do so. And for the first 2 decades of their and MLS's existence, it was the Galaxy who were the most consistent contenders and winners in the United States. They went to 9 MLS Cup finals. They won 5 of them. They were regular participants in this Champions Cup. In fact, in their first 20 years, they were in this tournament 10 different times. But after that decade of drift, that turned around last year when they not only got back to the MLS playoffs, but won the whole thing. But because of salary cap and roster issues, the Galaxy have had to offload a number of key players from last year's title-winning team. And they also will miss their key midfielder, Ricky Puig, who tore his ACL in last year's playoffs. Combined with inopportune injuries to a couple of other key figures early this year, the Galaxy have looked like a shell of themselves in these first few weeks of 2025. They've lost all 3 of their MLS games. They've scored just 1 goal, and they're coming off a 3-0 defeat here at home against St. Louis City last weekend. The Galaxy didn't lose at home at all of last season in 2024. They've already lost here twice in just a few weeks this year. And of course, in this competition, after receiving a bye to this round of 16, they went to Costa Rica last week and were dealt a 1-0 defeat in front of a vociferous Herediano crowd, as Los Florenses deserved their win and got it with a terrific strike from outside the box by Elias Aguilar. So in 2025 for the Galaxy, 4 total games played, 4 defeats, just 1 goal scored, and 8 allowed. They are rock bottom in the Western Conference standings, and they are staring at a potentially embarrassing elimination tonight if they don't find a way to jumpstart their attack and score some goals. And to make it even more difficult, Herediano have looked terrific this season. They did suffer a setback with a defeat to rivals Alajuelense last weekend, but that ended a 14-game unbeaten run in all competitions for the Roji Amarillos to begin the year. They are the defending Costa Rican champions. They won their 30th Costa Rican title last year. Currently, they're in 2nd place, 1 point off the top of their domestic table. They qualified for this tournament by getting to the semifinals of the Central American Cup in 2024. They've never won this trophy, but they've had some memorable victories over the years. Last year, of course, an epic comeback, an upset over Toluca, where they scored 3 goals in the second half in Toluca to shock the Red Devils. And this year, they upset Real Salt Lake in round 1 with a 2-1 win in Utah in the second leg. And tonight, they look for one of the biggest wins in their club's recent history. They have a chance to eliminate the defending MLS Cup champions. With the away goals rule in effect, they can grab 1 goal, just 1. It would force the Galaxy to score at least 3. Considering how LA have struggled to score this year, that 1 goal could be enough for Herediano. As they take to the pitch tonight, Herediano in the yellow and red with the black shorts, the Galaxy in their traditional white kits. The winner of this tie will face Tigres in the quarterfinals after Tigres came from behind to beat FC Cincinnati 3-1 in El Volcan last night. Will the Galaxy find their first positive result of 2025, or will it be Herediano taking out one of the region's big boys yet again and scoring another upset in this competition? Already we've had a surprise tonight with Vancouver about to eliminate Monterrey They lead 2-1 in the final seconds there in Monterrey. Monterrey needing 2 late goals to turn that around. It looks like Vancouver will pull the upset there. And might we have another here tonight in Carson, California, just south of Los Angeles. It should be another night of drama. It could be another night of shocks. It's the LA Galaxy. It's Club Sport Herediano, the second leg of the Concacaf Champions Cup round of 16 next. So the Champions Cup anthem has been played. The two sides will shake hands. And then they will resume the battle in the second leg of this Concacaf Champions Cup round of 16. With Herediano taking the first leg 1-0 last week. And so LA Galaxy having to score tonight. And having failed to score an away goal last week, they would be very vulnerable to any away goals that Herediano might score this evening. Let's see the starting 11s first for LA Galaxy, who are looking for a spark to their attack. And head coach Greg Vanney makes 5 changes from the first leg last week. Most notably, he hands Tucker Lepley his first start for the Galaxy up front alongside Miguel Berry. At Toluca last year. They went to Utah and beat Real Salt Lake in the second leg of round 1 this year. Can they pull off their biggest shock yet and eliminate the LA Galaxy tonight? Or can the Galaxy kickstart their season? We get to watch this great sport together. Let's enjoy it. We're in motion in Los Angeles in the CONCACAF Champions Cup round of 16 second leg. As the Galaxy in the white attacking from right to left in this first half. Galaxy, of course, would love an early goal to level the tie, but Greg Vanney said in his pre-match interview that they couldn't force the issue too much in the early stages. want to leave themselves open to the counterattack. Don't want to give away silly set-piece opportunities either. Want to make sure they remain composed and patient. Early long ball lifted toward the edge of the 18-yard box, skimmed out for an early Galaxy throw. Taken quickly by Diego Fagundes, a veteran of 15 MLS seasons. One of those 5 changes that Greg Vanney makes for the second leg tonight, bringing his experience back into the starting 11. Early line-splitting ball down this right side. Promising for the Galaxy. Back to goal. This is Miguel Barry, surrounded by red and yellow shirts. Lays it off to Gabriel Peck. And Peck plays it square. Top of the 18, then to the left side to Fagundes. And Fagundes back post. It's tipped over. First save for Danny Carvajal. I'm not sure if Fagundes meant to shoot that. I think he was going for the back post cross. Almost wound up in the top corner. An early corner for the Galaxy, which they take immediately. See this attempted cross that turned into a shot from Fagundes. The ball now in the hands of Danny Carvajal. Carvajal playing quickly and long. That didn't work out. Galaxy can repossess immediately. Herediano will figure to have to defend for long stretches tonight. They don't mind that as Berry chases this, but Carvajal able to take it simply. Has just gone final in Monterrey, by the way. 2-2 it finishes between Monterrey and Vancouver, with a Whitecaps advance on the away goals rule. Finishes 3-3 on aggregate, but Vancouver scoring 2 away from home tonight. And they stun Monterrey, who are ousted by an MLS side for the 2nd consecutive year. The Columbus Crew went there and beat them last year. Big disappointment for Monterrey. Big night for Vancouver Whitecaps, one of the biggest in their club's history. They are through to the quarterfinals. Greg Vanney hoping his side will join them tonight, but they certainly have work to do to make that a reality. Vanney bringing the Galaxy back to prominence over the last couple seasons, especially last year, winning their record 6th MLS Cup. Again, as we mentioned in the Open, they are past winners of this tournament back in the year 2000. Just 3 MLS sides to have won it, along with DC United, Seattle Sounders most recently. Galaxy throw on this near side. There is Alexander Vargas. Still works as a dentist, which he has done for the last 20 years, along with his coaching career. Even though this is his highest profile job yet, Herediano, one of the biggest clubs in Costa Rica, he said he will not give up his dentistry practice. He loves it. Feels stronger and more useful, he said, when I'm also at the clinic. Tries to see a couple patients a day still. Said he only sleeps 4 to 5 hours a night, but that's all he needs. First chance for Herediano to break. Aguilar. And then the long ball launched forward. Chased and taken eventually by John McCarthy. Tucker Lepley, starting at the forward spot, was tracking all the way back there to defend. John McCarthy, a big part of LA Galaxy's MLS Cup triumph last year, made huge saves, especially in the playoffs. Lost his starting position, though, at the beginning of this year. Played the first leg and played well. Is this long ball over the top? Too heavy for Fagundes. Danny Carvajal made 4 key saves in that first leg. Probably will have to make a few more, at least tonight, if Herediano are going to advance. This is a free kick for the Galaxy, 5 minutes in. Herediano also defending champions of their domestic league, winning their 30th Costa Rican title last season. In second place currently, a point off the top after they lost Rivals Alajuelense last weekend. But again, that was their first loss of the calendar year. They had started the year 14 unbeaten in all competitions. They might have a chance to attack here. They had a man running into space on the left for just a moment. Now trying to bend it around the back line. A really good ball, and it almost reached the path of Alan Cruz. John McCarthy able to claim it in the end, but a little warning shot there for the Galaxy. The danger that Herediano will pose again on the counter. Fagundes launches one into the box, but again, too much weight on it. Out for a goal kick. They are also underway in Mexico City in the second leg of the Clásico Nacional between America and Guadalajara. Guadalajara carrying a 1-0 advantage into that second leg away from home. Biggest rivalry in Mexico back on the continental stage tonight. So another huge night in the region. Tomorrow, the round of 16 will wrap up with Cavalier FC of Jamaica hosting Miami at a sold-out national stadium. So Alajuelense taking on Pumas, trying to overturn a 2-0 deficit from the first leg. And Miami also with a 2-0 lead as they go to Kingston tomorrow. Lionel Messi did make the trip. Will he play or not? Still in question. Galaxy looking for an opening. Fagundes plays it over the top. Second ball mopped up by Barry. Clipped into the penalty area, came off the heel. Galaxy have the attack break down and some space on this left side if he can keep it in play, and he does. See where Herediano have some space for the counter if they can make that first pass. Juan Luis Perez making a run forward there. Galaxy clearly trying to stretch Herediano's back line with those long balls early on. Force them to drop deeper. Peck curls a good square ball for Fagundes, who's seeing a lot of it early on and figures to continue that. Here's Aude now. Julian Aude. Very promising left back for the Galaxy. Peck. Them missing so many attacking weapons right now. A lot of the load is on him. He scored their only goal of the season thus far, and this ball by the end line, it rolls in front, and it's in the back of the net. Now the flag goes up. Offside. It sure looked like the ball went out of play in the first place. Fagundes put it in, but it does not count. Clearly onside there. I think the flag was for the ball going out of play, which it very clearly did. So the flag went up as if it were offside, but it was the linesman flagging that the ball was out. Herediano battling and winning the ball high up the pitch. Clipped into the middle, just one there. That was Emerson Bravo in yellow and red. Galaxy hustle it the other direction, almost 10 minutes in. Meanwhile, there's been another early goal elsewhere with America leveling it up already against Guadalajara. They lead 1-0 on the night. It's 1-1 on aggregate now, all square in that tie. For the ball, the Galaxy win it. It's a strong tackle initially by Tucker Lepley, making his first start for the Galaxy tonight. He cleared in 4 games for them over the last 2 years. He's mostly been playing at the MLS Next Pro level, the 2nd division. Galaxy had a player making a run down that right side. They didn't spot him. Now they do, and it's a good ball. In space down the right. Crossed into the middle, comes all the way to the top. And Herediano have a man there. Galaxy looking to break up that advancement, and they do. And we figure to see a lot of this tonight as Peck plays it with the outside of the foot. It's a wonderful ball. There are options on here. It's lifted toward the back post, and it's a poor cross. Needed to be better. It's out for a goal kick. Fagundes was all alone at the back stick. Well, concerned Alexander Vargas. Let's see how unhappy he is after that last sequence. Vargas has battled his way up in Costa Rican soccer. Managed multiple lower division clubs in the country. Started his coaching career in 2010. 15 years later, finally getting his shot at the big time with Herediano. We're one of the traditional big three in Costa Rica, of course, along with Alajuelense and Saprissa. Lots of pressure that comes with the job in Costa Rica. Here's Peck making the surging run down the right into the area, looking for the cutback, and he ran out of room. Just a little heavy with the touch, Gabriel Peck. It's a terrific run. He continues to be the main threat for the Galaxy. It's been very difficult for him early this year with every team that they play. So determined to stop him, knowing that if they can stop him, they'll contain the Galaxy most of the time. Here he was almost in on the end line. Just the heavy touch at the end took it out of play. Claiming he was pushed, but referee Ismael Cornejo not interested in that. Galaxy able to take it back. Peck making the run down the right. It's a slick pitch after the rain earlier today. You can see the water popping up as the ball rolls on it. Edwin Cerrillo. Isaiah Parente curls in across. Not very convincingly dealt with by Herediano, but works out for them. They turn it right back over. Galaxy at the top of the area. Fagundes battling for it, taken away. Aguilar protects. This is good hold-up play by Aguilar, who then wins a free kick. Veteran move. It's exactly the kind of moments that Herediano are going to need tonight. A bit of an inexperienced foul given away by Tucker Lepley. Loose pass there. Aguilar battling Lepley off the ball. Ball back almost turned over to Gabriel Peck, who would have been through. So Herediano living on the edge a bit, but they still haven't given up a clear chance in these first 15 minutes. Herediano throw. Switch of play to this left side. Controlled off the shoulder by Axel Quiroz. There's one player making that run down the middle. A lot of observers felt the Galaxy actually played their best game of their young season last Sunday, even though they lost 3-0 here at home. This is in the direction of Miguel Berry, but runs under his feet and is taken by Carvajal. The Galaxy were by far their most dangerous that they've been so far this year on Sunday. The advanced metrics had them creating a ton of chances and goal-scoring opportunities. They just couldn't convert. So that was an improvement at least. They generated very little in their first few games. Create a whole lot in Costa Rica last week, although they had a couple good chances that Carvajal made saves on. They need more, and they need more tonight if they're going to advance in this Champions Cup. Long ball out of the back from Yoshida. That's a terrific switch out to the right. Peck prods it in the direction of Barry, but taken away. Herediano look for the counter. They have speed too. One-on-one on the edge of the area. Joaquin Hernandez looks to square it. Emerson Bravo had to check up. He was just a little bit behind him. That halted his momentum. Herediano forced to pull back a bit. They recycle it to the top of the area again. Attack breaks down. Galaxy look to break the other way. Edwin Cerrillo doing so, trying to thread in Peck. Game opening up just a little bit. Herediano happy for these little sequences when they can slow the tempo down. Leave some of that early pressure on themselves. Yoshida wins that header. Lepley. Cerrillo. Good ball between the lines. Fagundes won't reach him. Yoshida playing really high up the pitch from his center back spot to win it back for LA. Edwin Cerrillo, just 18 years old still. Scored one of the most impressive goals of the season last year for LA Galaxy against their arch rivals LAFC. Peck feeds it wide right. To his left foot, clipped up high, goalkeeper out, Carvajal punches away. Settled by Peck. And he hunts it down as well. Harbour Miller has been a revelation at right back in these last few games for the Galaxy. Aude, Diego Fagundes, Edwin Cerrillo, Isaiah Parente, who had a great game on Sunday. Completed 94% of his passes in the midfield. It's the closest thing the Galaxy have, they've realized, to Ricky Puig, who they won't have back for most of this year. Coming back from that ACL injury. Fagundes clips it to Peck. Peck turns and fires just high. Hit the stanchion behind the net. A couple people on this side thought it was in. Peck the closest the Galaxy have come so far. Watch how quickly he settles and gets turned and gets this away. It's great technique. Fagundes, well-weighted ball as well, allowing Peck to get turned and get the strike off. Just a couple inches high when you see it from that angle. Very close to clipping the underside of the bar and going in. Picking up a little bit of rhythm. Here's Lepley. Lepley cuts it inside and charges further forward. Lepley then prodding it through for Barry, is a little bit behind him. Fagundes now. Cerrillo. Harbour Miller. Peck not afraid to drop deep to pick up the ball. Kept moving by Zanka. Over 20 minutes gone. Herediano holding out so far, keeping that 1-0 lead. Here's Fagundes in space. Fagundes trying to curl it. was claiming a corner. It's a goal kick. Carvajal has had one save to make so far, and it was on a cross that turned into a shot. Oh, not a good ball out that time from Harbour Miller. Miller's just 17 years old. He's going to do that sometimes. Youngest Galaxy player ever to start a Champions Cup match. This is raked toward the top of the 18-yard box. Herediano, not a lot of numbers forward. Give away the free kick. Galaxy asking for the card. Not going to get it as Bravo gave the foul away. Herediano won't mind that. They can slow the Galaxy down, slow the game down. It works for them. Galaxy will look to press this Herediano throw. Still 1-0 to America over Guadalajara in Mexico City. 1-1 on aggregate now. Told you Vancouver Whitecaps stunned Monterrey. A 2-2 draw on the road to advance on away goals. That just concluded a little while ago. Switch to Fagundes. Fed down the line for Lepley. Goes into a slide for it. Gets to it by the corner. Keeps it in play. Into the area. What a good step. Attempted toe poke. Now it's going to run out for a goal kick. Great effort from Julian Aude. Almost got the shot away as well before it was blocked back and out. Bravo in the way for Herediano. So we've had 4 quarterfinalists confirmed so far in this competition. LAFC advancing last night in Columbus. The Whitecaps earlier tonight. On the other side of the bracket, Cruz Azul and Tigres already through. Pumas will play their second leg at Alajuelense tomorrow. So Tigres, Cruz Azul, Vancouver Whitecaps, LAFC. The 4 in the quarterfinals right now. These teams hoping to join them. Over halfway through this opening half. Alexander Vargas's men hanging tough as you suspected they would. And they've become veterans at this over the last couple of years. They've gotten big results away from home in this competition multiple times. Some space here to line up a long-distance strike that was wide of John McCarthy's near post. Hit pretty well, though, by Juan Luis Perez, who has gotten forward a few times down that left side. Perez, who often plays center back for Herediano, but playing at that left back spot tonight. Trying to attack with speed. Fagundes roaming all over in these early stages. Surreal. Fagundes picks it up again. Wanted to play the ball down the line for Aude, who'd made his run a bit too soon and was offside. Over 25 minutes on the clock. Zonka. Can the Galaxy make things happen with all this possession? That's the question tonight. Switch to Miller. Knotted down for Peck. Peck was stopped by the defender. He thought there should have been a foul. Parente recycles it back. Now Miller again. Prevented from crossing. Oh, it's scuffed into the area, and it rolls for Fagundes. And Fagundes strikes off a body. Miller retrieves. Yoshida. Herediano camped out in their lines of defense. 5 across the back, 3 more right in front of them. Miller is free on the right, pulls it into the middle. Great chance, takes a deflection. Spins along the end line and somehow stays in play. Best chance so far for the Galaxy. Now play is stopped with an Herediano player down at the edge of the 6. Galaxy fans furious the game was stopped. But with possible head contact, referee Ismael Cornejo felt he didn't have a choice. Wow, it was Isaiah Parente in all kinds of space from about 12 yards out. Crucial block to probably save a goal. A chance for Alexander Vargas to pull his men over for a de facto timeout and a tactic talk. It's a great block. It's a brave block by Hetzel Montes. He's known for his strength in the air as a center back, but had to be strong with his face that time. Galaxy try to resume the pressure right away. Zanka. Now Fagundes. Aude. Wasn't afraid to mix it up with some after the whistle things in the first leg. Got a yellow card in the second half. Now Parente drifting into space, wanting to turn it further for Harbour Miller. It's a great battle along that touchline. Now it's out of play. It's a Galaxy throw. Kaner Brown, the other center back for Herediano, in the middle of that. It's Herediano maintaining that 1-goal advantage from the first leg. Elias Aguilar scoring from outside the area in the 65th minute. Still the difference thus far in this round of 16 tie. Harbour Miller continues to find space on that right side. Pulls it back for Parente. Parente into the box, and it's turned off the post and in. And the Galaxy are finally off the ground. Julian Aude levels up the tie and gives them the lead on the night. An instinctive finish, and it's one they badly needed. Life for LA, who have parity. It's a really good finish too. First time in off the post. And Aude, who's been attacking from that left back spot throughout these 2 legs, gets his reward here. That's so good. Difficult technique to redirect it from that angle first time and keep it on frame. That's exactly what he does. It's terrific, and it's a huge boost for LA. The assists for Isaiah Parente, who had such a good game on Sunday, was a revelation in that midfield. And he and Aude combining for the opening goal tonight. It's been the one silver lining for the Galaxy with all the injuries they've had this year. As terrible as the start to the year has been for them, it has forced them to play some of the young talent a lot more than they'd planned to early on. And some of those players have started to really shine. Aude and Parente are two of those. So, on the half-hour mark, the Galaxy even in the tie. Now, Herediano, if they score an away goal, remember, it would still have a big advantage, but they haven't scored one yet. Haven't really come that close so far. Do they get more aggressive now? Down the right, this is Quiroz crossing in. Yoshida slices it up and over. And it'll be the first corner of the night for Herediano. It was a good cross. It caused problems for the Galaxy, and Yoshida had to get something on it. Did well to not concede an own goal. Greg Vanney spoke before the match about how they'd have to be strong from set pieces. Cornejo sorting things out of the box before this corner is taken. Ismail Aguilar with a teammate showing short. He does play it short, but to the top of the 18 instead, and gets the return. Now he swings it in toward the back stick. It's a good ball, and it's headed wide. Decent routine from Herediano. Alan Cruz on the end of it. Couldn't steer it on frame. The Galaxy looking for their first lead in this round of 16. Parente. Pack immediately pressured by two. He's able to keep it though. Long sequence of possession for the Galaxy. Aude, not quite on the same wavelength with Tucker Lepley. Well, they faced adversity last year at Toluca in that second leg, remember. They trailed 2-1 going into it, then they gave up 2 goals in the first half. It looked like they were totally out of it. 4-1 down overall. Came back with 3 in the second half, stunningly. Still one of the most surprising results in this tournament's recent history. It's a good ball down the right. Peck's in some space. Gabriel Peck has players making runs in white. Tries to use one of them on the underlap. Shouts for a penalty, but it goes the other way. And it's going to be a yellow card for simulation as well. Shown to Harbour Miller. Yeah, I think it's a good decision by Ismail Cornejo. Not fooled at all. It's a good run from Miller. He goes into the book. Goal kick for Herediano. First booking of the night. Mentioned their big second leg comeback at Toluca last year. Of course, in the second leg at Real Salt Lake just a couple weeks ago. After a goalless first leg in Costa Rica, they conceded the first goal and absorbed a lot of pressure from Real Salt Lake, who had multiple chances to score a second, but never did. And then Herediano on the 70th minute scored the away goal and then added another in stoppage time on a penalty. Here they come now. Space on this right. Trying to curl it into the box. Again, just one attacker making himself available. Galaxy now with some space to counter. And this is good from them, and there are options, and Peck is one down the right, and Peck running in to Kanar Brown, who stood him up. Peck thought he was impeded. Brown tells him to get on with it. What footwork, and then tried to reverse it against the grain to Fagundes. It's good work to advance it to Emerson Bravo, but then he's dispossessed and he's frustrated too. Fagundes, a heavy first touch, it's out for a throw. Miller making another run down the right side. Herediano have left him in a lot of space throughout this first half. Zonka. Parente. Al Miller. Peck. Parente showed a little bit too much of it. Galaxy get it back though. Aude. Lepley. And Fagundes turns it back. Lepley to the end line. Stands it up backside. And the volley is in the back of the net. Turned in on the line. Flag is down. 2-1 to the Galaxy on aggregate. Miguel Berry with the last touch. They worked it so well, and Lepley stood it up on the first time volley, and there was Berry opportunistically on the goal line to tuck it away. It's going to be another assist for Parente, but it's the fearlessness to hit it first time, no hesitation, down into the ground, got it on frame, and good things happen for the Galaxy. Berry right there, and he buried it. First lead for LA in this round of 16 tie. And now Herediano have to score. And they have plenty of time to do so, of course, but they can no longer sit back and defend, at least not exclusively.
Thank you.
So Herediano now behind on the night, but more importantly on aggregate over the two legs. They might have something on here. It's Yoshida tracking back, and he was fouled. Well, Herediano didn't pose much of a threat in the first half at Real Salt Lake a couple weeks ago. Found a way to hang in and then found the goals in the second half to take them through. They'll hope to do the same thing tonight. Remember, just one goal for them would flip things back in their favor on the away goals rule, since the Galaxy didn't score any away goals in the first leg last week. So this is still on a razor's edge as things stand. And with 5 minutes to go until halftime, it's the Galaxy with 2 first-half goals to turn this around so far. Aude in the 30th, Barry in the 38th. Miguel Barry has had a knack for scoring big goals for the Galaxy the last couple years. See the summary so far. Barry had a huge last-minute equalizer to help the Galaxy rescue a draw late last season during the regular year. He's been mostly a role player. Put into the starting lineup tonight by Greg Vanney as he looks for a spark. It's the first time the Galaxy have scored multiple goals this season. To try to find some solutions, Alexander Vargas. Herediano starting to try to press a little bit higher. LA moving it around them. Harbour Miller, it's a dangerous ball, given away in the middle of the park. Galaxy were able to hustle back into shape. Those midfield turnovers have been a big problem for them, though, in the first few games of this season. What will give Herediano some hope as things currently stand, even though they're now trailing on aggregate. Shouts for handball there, and it was. Free kick for LA. What will give Herediano some hope still is that the Galaxy have not been a terrifically strong defensive side. Not even last year when they won MLS Cup. They were better in the postseason, but primarily they won that trophy through the strength of their attack. Without a lot of the key pieces from that attack so far this year, they've struggled to hold out defensively when they've needed to. But here goes Peck, rampaging through the middle, and Peck still, and Peck continues. Finally forced to check it back and pull it back for Aude. Being told there will be an additional 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the 45, so effectively 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. If the Galaxy could score a third, they'd have 1 foot in the quarterfinals. Parente. Pack shrugs off a challenge. Fagundes slipping it through, took a slight deflection. Lepley. Pack with the step over, leaves and dummies for Fagundes. Thinking about the strike was surreal. Pulls it back for Zonka instead. Galaxy restart the move with Fagundes. And Pack. Slipping through, Fagundes took a touch, but smothered by Danny Carvajal. Just tried to maneuver it around the goalkeeper. Fagundes not quite able to do it. A great move, though, from the Galaxy. Greg Vanney stoic, but I'm sure he feels this has been much better from his side so far tonight. Free kick for LA as we head towards stoppage time. There's the confirmation of 2 additional minutes to be played by 4th official Nelson Selgado. Here goes Lepley. Lepley right through the 6-yard box. Nobody on the end of it in white. Galaxy, though, picking up more and more speed as the first half has gone on. Picking up 2 goals as well. Herediano almost gave it away in a bad spot. Now they look to launch one down the pitch. Yoshida with a crucial header away. Final minute now of the first half. Could Herediano create something before the break? Not like that. Time for one more attack from them, though. Emerson Bravo. And then Axel Quiroz. And Quiroz bends in a gorgeous cross. It's deflected out. It is a goal kick. Came off the attacker last. Herediano, though, insistent they should have had a corner. It was a tremendous ball into the area. Cruz, one of the players who was attacking it in yellow and red. Things to sort out at halftime for Alexander Vargas and his coaching staff. Vargas has looked agitated throughout this opening half. Kick from McCarthy and the halftime whistle from Ismael Cornejo. And the Galaxy turn it around in the first half. Their best attacking half of their season so far. It took them a half an hour, but then Aude in the 30th, Barry in the 38th to flip a 1-0 deficit at the start of the night in this second leg to a 2-1 lead on aggregate for the Galaxy. 45 minutes away from a spot in the quarterfinals, but it's still on a razor's edge. One goal from Herediano would turn this back in their favor. Still lots to play for in the second half, but at the break in Los Angeles, it is LA Galaxy 2, Herediano 0 on aggregate. Galaxy 2, Herediano 1.
For every star, all at a discounted rate. To secure your seats, visit lagalaxy.com/ticket. The Concacaf Champions Cup is sponsored by Camarena Tequila. Celebrate every match-winning moment with the most awarded tequila. To learn more about Camarena Tequila and access exclusive soccer content, visit discover.tequilacamarena.com/soccer. Molten, official match ball of Concacaf. Meet Cave, the 100% Mexican company leading the car buying and selling industry in Mexico and Latin America, which is revolutionizing the market. Find your ideal pre-owned car among its thousands of options. They have vehicles from all brands in one place. Don't wait any longer and discover the leader in pre-owned cars. Nos vemos en Cava. Fans, please welcome back to the field, CS Herediano and your LA Galaxy.
Players back out onto the pitch for the second half here at Carson, California, just south of Los Angeles. LA Galaxy, 2 goals in the first half to turn the tie around for now. They lead on aggregate 2-1 over the 2 legs with 45 minutes remaining. We will not have extra time tonight. The second goal for LA confirming that. It will end in the 90 minutes. Herediano, though, with just 1 goal from them, they would turn this back in their favor on the away goals rule. So this is far from over. Julian Aude, though, putting the Galaxy on the board in the 30th minute with an instinctive and gorgeous finish on a half volley. And then in the 38th, it was Miguel Berry on the goal line, tucking home an initial shot from Isaiah Parente, who picked up both assists in that first half. Herediano, you may have seen it as we went to break at halftime. Their whole team huddled around Captain Elias Aguilar, and they had quite a animated talk in the middle of the pitch before they even went to the locker room. You can see them discussing things with each other quite a bit, even as they came back on the pitch. They make a change here coming out of halftime as they bring on Randy Vega. And we're back underway for the second half. Ismael Cornejo blows the whistle. Can Herediano now turn this around in the second half, just like they did at Toluca last year, just like they did at Real Salt Lake just a couple weeks ago in round 1? Do they have another big comeback and another big giant killing in them tonight, or will it be the Galaxy cementing their place in the quarterfinals. Galaxy immediately, fluidly move into the attack. Poke forward in the direction of Peck. That's a handball and a free kick. Both sides claiming this throw. It will be Herediano's. So Randy Vega replacing Daryl Araya at halftime. So Alexander Vargas not waiting around. Those things weren't working for his side in the first half. Makes an immediate switch coming out of the break. The free kick for the Galaxy here. Miguel Berry, who scored their second goal, elbow to the back of the neck. The Galaxy will certainly want one more goal at least, because they're still vulnerable to that away goal. If they don't put Herediano away, that's a giveaway. And the Galaxy prone to those turnovers in the middle of the park. It's a chance for Herediano to get forward. They didn't do much in the first half. Have it on the edge of the 18, trying to skip into the area, and two good tackles back-to-back by Julian Aude. Scored in the first half, and a huge prevention of an attack there. Herediano will need more of that in this second half. Barely posed a threat in the first half, but again, it was similar against Real Salt Lake a couple weeks ago. They were totally dominated in the first half of that game. Fell behind 1-0. Could have been behind by more. Slowly worked themselves into it in the second half before they found a goal in the 70th minute. And put it away in stoppage time for a famous 2-1 victory. Similar in that epic comeback at Toluca last year in round 1. Looked pretty poor in the first half, looked totally out of it. Sprung to life in the second 45. Do they have another one of those in them? So far, they're giving away foul after foul in the first few minutes of this second half. Alan Cruz guilty of that latest one. Cruz, the guy who, when they're at their best, Herediano dictates the tempo for them. He's not been able to get on the ball very much in this game, which, again, Herediano would have expected. They're mostly fine with that. But that only works if you don't concede goals, and they gave up 2, obviously, in that first half. So they were able to mostly contain the Galaxy in leg 1. Greg Vanny making 5 changes from the first leg, and so far they've worked. Arbor Miller, one of those teenagers emerging for the Galaxy, just 17. Galaxy feel if they can survive these early weeks of their season, get a win from somewhere, build some momentum, they can have plenty of time still to turn things around this year. Marco Royce is on the bench for them tonight. Greg Vanny resting him at the start of the game. We might see him at some point in the second half, but he said after that loss on Sunday that he just had to find a win from somewhere, somehow. He felt that once they did, things would turn back in their favor. It was an interesting statement from Royce, too. Not just the fact that he said those things, which is fairly standard, but the fact that he made himself available. Here come the Galaxy now. It's Miller stepping around one. Back for Parente, who had both of those assists in the first half. Gabriel Peck now. See, recycling it with Aude. Marco Reus taking the initiative to address the media after that last Galaxy loss. It's not that he minds talking to the media. He's a very friendly guy, but isn't often in those post-game interviews. He felt the need to take the lead for his team. Here's Peck. Miller into the middle, back to goal. It's a heavy touch from Barry. Couldn't settle it first time. It's back with Cerrillo, though. Clips it very deftly to Miller. Galaxy moving the ball very well. Looking like a much more confident side. Peck takes the layoff. Has a player advancing down the left. That's a crucial header out to stop the counterattack from Julian Aude. Their second leg in progress. America now with a 2-0 lead over Guadalajara, so they have turned that tie around, and they also lead 2-1 on aggregate over their arch rivals. But again, they're still vulnerable to that away goal if Guadalajara get the next one. Same situation as it is here. Both America and the Galaxy craving that third goal that would make things a little bit more straightforward for them. Here come Herediano, in search of that away goal that could change everything, and that's to no one in particular, and out for a goal kick. On Luis Perez, who got forward a few times down that left side in the first half, able to deliver end product there. It's been the problem for Herediano, though. When they have advanced the ball into the attacking third, they haven't had enough players breaking into the box to present themselves as targets. Here's Peck now in lots of space. Slides the angled ball down the line for Miller. And Miller with Barry in the middle pulls it back for Peck. And Peck puts it away. And the Galaxy are galloping away. They have daylight. They have a 2-goal lead on aggregate. It's 3-0 on the night. And Gabriel Peck has Greg Vanny a much happier man. Well, there's the 17-year-old with the assist. What a beautiful cutback, perfectly into space. Peck arriving at the ideal time to slam it in. And Herediano caught flat-footed again. The movement for the Galaxy has been terrific tonight. And Peck's been at the heart of a lot of it, but again, it's 17-year-old Harbour Miller picking up his first Galaxy assist. And the youngest Galaxy player ever to start a Concacaf Champions Cup match. And he makes his impact. Herediano make another change, but this is slipping away from them. Now they'll need at least 2 goals. Yeltsin Tejeda comes in, replacing Joaquin Hernandez, who hardly had a sniff up top for them tonight. And the winner of this round of 16 will face Tigres in the next round. Right now, that's looking like the Galaxy. Foul given there against Miguel Barry. Still 35 minutes for Herediano to turn this around, but it's not going to happen like that. Just haven't shown any signs so far that they have goals in them tonight, and now they'll need at least 2. The finish from Peck was unerring, but it was the build-up play that was so good, and Peck's timing and his arrival. That, of course, is the art of attacking from the midfield, arriving in the penalty box at exactly the right time, and your teammate finding you with the perfectly weighted ball. Gorgeous from the Galaxy. After a 1-0 defeat in the first leg, they are 3-0 up in the second and 3-1 in total. Pursued on the touchline and hunted down Emerson Bravo, who was then dispossessed by Harbour Miller. Miller doing it all tonight. He's picked up a card, he's picked up an assist. Wow, it's given away. Something for Herediano here, perhaps. And there's Miller sliding in, has to be careful on a yellow card. Now Bravo, able to maintain some possession. Herediano need to sustain some attack now. And they'll hit it with the right foot. It's a great strike, and it's just over the bar. And that had John McCarthy concerned. Closest Herediano have come tonight. Hetzel Montes up from the center back spot. Herediano needing to take some more chances now, and he caught it very cleanly. Just pulled it a bit high and wide. Not much, though. Free kick for the Galaxy. Herediano frustrated. Well, he's fought through a lot in his coaching career, Alexander Vargas. Talked about in the first half. Still works as a dentist. Not giving up his practice either. Still sees patients almost every day when he's back home. It's quite a puzzle to solve with his side in this second half. Time starting to work against them, even though there's still a lot of it. Galaxy just have to be a little bit careful that they don't give balls away cheaply in the middle of the park. They did there. Here's Aguilar for Herediano. On the right side it goes. Left-footed effort is straight at John McCarthy. First shot on target from Herediano. Bit of a spark from them. They remain 2 goals down overall. Herediano starting to win some balls higher up the pitch, but they gave that one straight back. And now the Galaxy are on the gallop again with Peck. He has Barry charging to his right. Peck tried to go it himself. Stabbed out for a throw. Miller dispossessed. Then thrown down behind the play. Looks like this is a free kick being given to Herediano, in which case, yeah, they're incensed. Why didn't you just play advantage? They were away on the counter there. Galaxy actually happy to hear the whistle blow in that spot. Even though the foul was against them, that stopped a promising looking situation for Herediano. So 30 minutes to go in the second leg. Galaxy well positioned to go to the quarterfinals as things stand. Herediano starting to show some signs of creating some danger. if they could get one, it would make things uncomfortable still for LA. That's a problem for Herediano. They are winning more balls in the middle of the park, but then they're not connecting from there. Aude, such a good turn under pressure, and then tackled off the ball fairly, says the referee. Numbers here for Herediano. Haven't had this much tonight. Aguilar. And Aguilar! McCarthy comfortable in the end. The Galaxy uncomfortable immediately prior to that. Well, Aguilar scored their goal in the first leg. Hadn't scored in the Champions Cup in 10 years. Scored against RSL and then against the Galaxy in back-to-back games. He's looking to make it 3 in a row. Now the Galaxy with room to move forward again. Gabriel Peck wants to score a fourth and make certain of their spot in the quarterfinals. Here's Fagundes sliding it on the left for Lepley. Lepley cuts it back. Fagundes tried to clip it into the middle. I think he was aiming for Peck. It came off Barry instead. Fourth goal for LA would put this one away, you would think. Even though Herediano, we've talked about it a few times already, even though they came back from 4-1 down on aggregate against Toluca last year in the second half of the second leg, unlikely that they could do that in back-to-back years. 2 goals down, though, as things stand, not impossible. Aguilar, some good work to wriggle clear and keep possession. Has it back now. To the top of the 18. Galaxy able to bully the man off the ball, and then the free kick goes in their favor as well. Keener Brown called for the foul. Substitution coming for Herediano. Off comes Juan Luis Perez. And on is Axel Amador. 24-year-old winger. So Alexander Vargas takes off a left back and throws on a winger, which is definitely an attacking change. Amador will generally play a little higher up the pitch than Juan Luis Perez did. That's what Herediano have to do. 26 minutes remaining. Needing at least 2 goals to advance. Great flick from Mikel Barry. Galaxy surrounding the ball, winning it back with Fagundes. And they have numbers. And Fagundes for Lepley. Back in the direction of Fagundes, just a bit too far. Chested back down by Cerrillo. And Lepley will try again. Cerrillo unleashes off a body. Galaxy, though, just hunting the ball down relentlessly. All the way back to McCarthy, but that's fine for them. 25 minutes to go. Galaxy in command as things stand. Peck able to turn away again. Was tugged back. Referee plays advantage. It's a good advantage as well. It's Lepley. And Lepley and Harbour Miller, 17 years old, and he's denied. Danny Carvajal with a strong right hand keeps him out. The teenager with an assist tonight and denied his goal by the veteran Carvajal. It's a really calm cutback onto his left foot. Shot had power behind it from Miller, but Carvajal was equal to it. Galaxy happy to knock around and keep possession. They're not the ones that have to chase the game anymore. And into space goes Harbour Miller again. Kaner Brown gets there first and shields him off and takes the foul. At the start of the night, it was Herediano sitting deep and the Galaxy having to attack against waves of defenders. Took them half an hour to find a breakthrough, but then Julian Aude did so. As we look at the foul again. It's good work by Kaner Brown. Aude in the 30th, and then Barry in the 38th. And then Peck, less than 10 minutes into the second half, scoring a third. Herediano not totally out of this yet, though. Into the middle it goes. Was never going to reach Yeltsin Tejeda, who's been a very isolated figure since he came on. And now Peck is free down the right again. And Peck is racing away, and Barry's in front of him. And Peck eventually tackled off it by two yellow and red shirts. And he won't add to his goal, at least yet. We're into the final quarter of this match. Final 22 minutes plus stoppage time. This round of 16. Two changes about to come on for the Galaxy. Miro Garces and Christian Ramirez getting set to come on. See the scoring summary so far. Aude, Barry, and Peck. 3-0 on the night, 3-1 on aggregate for LA. Montez. Two white shirts seemingly around the ball anytime Herediano pick it up. Here come those changes now. Miguel Barry, scorer of one of those goals, comes off. Replaced by Christian Ramirez. Here was the goal that Barry scored late in the first half. It was good work by Tucker Lepley just to stand it up to the back post, and volleyed along by Parente, and Barry on the doorstep was onside. There was question about that initially. There was a defender on the goal line, so Barry was entitled to stand there and entitled to tuck it home, which he promptly did. Harbour Miller, the other player that came off for the Galaxy, got a big ovation and deserved it. Didn't quite pick up his first goal, but his first assist for the Galaxy as this flicks back for McCarthy. Still 2-0 to America over Guadalajara on the night in Mexico City in the other game in progress. That's 2-1 overall for America. They are still vulnerable to the away goal if Guadalajara could score the next one. Miro Garces, who might be the fastest player in MLS, and some have suggested he actually might have a claim to being potentially the fastest guy in world soccer at the moment. That might sound over the top. This will be a free kick for Herediano into the final 20 minutes here. More on that in a bit as Herediano advance it up the pitch, looking for a goal that could get them back in this. Try this right side. It's decent work by Randy Vega to keep it alive. Aguilar lifts it into the area. Just one shirt up there, though, and again, they just don't have the numbers in the attacking box. Goal kick for the Galaxy. Aguilar scoring that spectacular goal in the first leg, but it is not enough as things stand. Miro Garces, though, he was clocked as the fastest player in Major League Soccer early this season. Of course, they have trackers on every sprint now. The guy whose record he beat, Joseph Paintsill, who also plays for the Galaxy, but who's injured right now, he was clocked as the fastest in world soccer last year. So if Garces is even faster than him, you can do the math. Of course, there are arguments about that, but he's certainly up there. That's the point. He's incredibly fast. Regarded as a guy who might sign for a European club at some point in the not too distant future. So he's on for these final 20 minutes, along with Christian Ramirez, who's trying to get his season started after coming over from Columbus Crew right before this season. Peck turns and feeds Garces. Cerrillo. Isaiah Parente, 2 assists so far tonight. All 3 assists from the Galaxy coming from teenagers. Fagundes was key to setting the tempo early in that first half for LA. Get them on the front foot right away. Now Peck into space. Gabriel Peck wants his second goal and rings it off the post. And it's fallen on by Carvajal. And Peck was that close to a brace. So Herediano clinging on, still somewhat in this. Along the end line, they burst into the box now. Chance for a cutback, comes to the back post, and it's blazed over the bar. And that might be the best chance they'll get tonight. Amador had the goal open and could not find it. And that was their moment to get back into this game. It was terrific work on this near side by Randy Vega to wrestle himself free and tee up his teammate. And Axel Amador. The reaction told you everything you needed to know. It's what Herediano had done so well against Toluca last year and against Real Salt Lake earlier in this competition. They took their chances. You don't get many playing on the road in continental competition, especially when you're an underdog like Herediano. They've been so good at capitalizing when they had opportunities. That was one that they should have seized on and would have made life a lot less comfortable for the Galaxy. Instead, they're still up by 2, and they want more. And here's Peck again, and Peck is in, and he slides it in front, and it's good defending in the end. It stays 3-1 overall for now. Tackled back, though, by Isaiah Parente, who's been terrific tonight. Parente solidifying himself in the Galaxy starting 11. Which is not something anybody thought would happen at the start of this year. 15 minutes to go tonight. It's Aude on this left side, leaving for Fagundes. The Galaxy will work it around some more and run more time off this clock. America have scored a third against Guadalajara meanwhile. So identical score lines again in the 2 games in progress. It's now 3-1 America on aggregate also in that tie. Now here's that speed of Garces coming into play, feeds it in front, and it's the 4th goal for Los Angeles. And it's the 1st of the year for Christian Ramirez. And the Galaxy continue to run riot on Herediano tonight. 4-0 on the evening, 4-1 overall. LA surely headed to the quarterfinals. There was Garces running into space. Perfect setup. Ramirez tucking it between Carvajal. What a no-look pass from Peck. The look away. And the first-time finish, Carvajal couldn't keep it out. And just a couple minutes after Herediano had such a great chance to pull it to 3-2, it's 4-1.
Scored in the 76th minute by number 17, Christian.
Well, Christian Ramirez had a couple great seasons with the Columbus Crew, helped them win MLS Cup, won a Leagues Cup, got to the final of this competition last year, of course. It had been a tough start to life in LA for him over the last few weeks. He was actually booed by the home crowd here on Sunday. Dropped to the bench for tonight, but responds in the best possible way, joining his teammates on the score sheet. Just about confirming the Galaxy's spot in the last 8. Galaxy still looking hungry for more. Gabriel Peck has been at full tilt tonight. Peck volleying it first time, trying to send Ramirez through, but put far too much on it on this occasion. But this has been a night that'll give the Galaxy a lot of hope. Substitution here for Herediano. Jose Gonzalez comes on for Elias Aguilar. So Herediano's captain removed for the final 12 minutes, with the game beyond doubt now. Galaxy can put on a show, and Garces intends to do that. 1 assist already. Lifts it for Fagundes. The effort and the hustle from the Galaxy has been terrific tonight. They have been on it from the opening whistle. It's another wonderful ball from Peck, bending it into the path of Fagundes. He's on the run, and Lepley slides it back to Fagundes, blocked at the first attempt. Cleared partially away for Surreal. Galaxy having all the fun. Peck with another showboat flick. Can't blame him though. Here's Garces and Peck. And Peck went sliding in a little recklessly. No need to do that with a 3-goal lead. triple change now for the Galaxy. They will bring on Ruben Ramos, Eric Zavaleta, and Elijah Winder for these final 10 minutes. Edwin Cerrillo, one of those who makes way, along with Maya Yoshida, who hands the captain's armband to Zavaleta. Ruben Ramos, just 18 years old, another one of these great teenagers the Galaxy have. Gabriel Peck, the other player removed. What a night for Peck. Had a goal, had a couple pre-assists. Could have had more, but he was terrific. Spearheading LA's turnaround in this second leg. There were a lot of pundits who thought the Galaxy were in real trouble in this tie. And you can understand why. Anytime you go away and lose 1-0 in the first leg, it's not a good situation, especially when you're struggling so much as they were entering this game, having lost 4 in a row to start the season in all competitions, having only scored 1 total goal in the process. They've scored 4 tonight, and Herediano have not had a response. They will have a corner here. They would need 3 goals in these final 8 minutes plus. This is looped into the 6-yard area, and there's one. Maybe it's not over just yet. The Giant Killers still have some stones left. Their first goal of the night. Their fans can celebrate. It's 4-2 on aggregate. They need 2 more. 8 minutes to play. Tejeda on the score sheet. It's a good ball in. It was actually over Tejeda's head and put away by Jose Gonzalez. So Gonzalez gets on the score sheet in the 82nd minute. Great finish into the top corner. Well, they couldn't do it again, could they? You wouldn't think so, but they have a throw here in the attacking half. 7 minutes left plus stoppage time. When they scored 3 unanswered in the second half at Toluca last year, that was absolutely shocking. But they started that comeback with about 30 minutes to play. Very little time for them to score 2 more tonight, but they're not giving up, as you would expect. So Gonzalez in the 82nd minute. Now the Galaxy dropping a little deeper. Remember, they just made those 3 changes right before the goal. This is into the area. It's headed away. This is going to be a corner. Another corner for Herediano. They scored from their last one. Sil Amador swings it in. It's a decent ball. Ramirez with the header away. Now hit from the edge of the area wildly, claiming a deflection. It's a goal kick. Just a little game management needed now for Greg Vanney's side. John McCarthy will try to take his time placing this ball down for a goal kick. Good battle in the middle of the park. Herediano win the throw with 5 minutes to play. If they somehow could grab one more, then it suddenly would be very uncomfortable in this building. Galaxy, though, still in a very strong position, leading by 2 with just a few minutes left. That close to a quarterfinal berth for LA. It's the first time they've been in this competition since the 2015-16 season. Almost a decade after they played in this tournament 10 times in their first 20 years. Of course, winning it back in the year 2000. There'll be plenty of space on the counter here. And Amiro Garces loves that. And Garces working it infield. On this left side, chance to cross it into the middle. Comes to the top of the 18. Elijah Winder came flying in. Beautiful takedown and touch by Tucker Lepley. Galaxy just want to keep the ball. Leading 4-1 on the night. 4 different goal scorers for them. Well, America have added a 4th against Guadalajara. It's now 4-0 Club America on the night, 4-1 overall. Again, that game and this game have tracked each other very similarly in terms of the scoreline. The only difference right now is that Herediano have managed to pull one back. Still far from enough for them. Vega dispossessed, and Winder looks to slide it along. Here's Garces. Garces chops it onto his left, pulls it to the top of the 18. Fagundes wanted the layoff from Ramirez, thought Fagundes was fouled. Ramirez appealing for it. Now Winder. Had such a tough time in the first leg. Able to coast forward and feed Fagundes again. Galaxy don't need to press the issue in the attack. LA happy to wind down the clock. Keep the ball as much as possible. Ramirez not quite found by Lepley. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes remaining. Herediano defended well for the first 30 minutes, kept their aggregate lead for the first third of this game, but then things collapsed for them. They had a couple chances to get back into it. Eventually scored in the 82nd minute. But the big chance they missed prior to that was really costly. And here comes Lepley in all kinds of space. Ramirez to his left. Lepley takes it himself and bends it wide. Asks for the deflection. There was one. It is a corner for the Galaxy. There will be 3 additional minutes at the end of the 90. And LA, despite conceding that goal, still mostly coasting home. Fagundes being saluted by the fans. A couple olays coming out from the Galaxy supporters. We're about to enter second half stoppage time, and this is crossed for Ramirez. Served up in the air, goalkeeper makes it his. We're into those 3 additional minutes of stoppage time at the end of this second leg. Galaxy that close to the round of 8. For Herediano, it will be a second straight defeat after they'd started the year 14 unbeaten in all competitions. And we'll turn their attention back to their domestic league season in Costa Rica, where again they're just 1 point out of first place. They are the defending champions, having claimed their 30th Costa Rican title last year. The Galaxy will be moving on to play Tigres in the quarterfinals. They'll be at Portland this weekend. 2 minutes to play. They have a free kick. McCarthy taking that free kick. Herediano, since scoring that goal 10 minutes ago, have not created another opportunity. Galaxy have managed it well. Greg Vanny doesn't want a foul. His team has a throw. Just didn't quite happen for Herediano tonight. They have again made themselves and their supporters proud on the continental stage, but not the evening they were hoping for in Los Angeles tonight. And now here's Garces, robbing it on the end line, crossing in front, and somehow Fagundes missed it. And the offside flag is raised. Should have been a 5th goal for LA. Fagundes has been excellent tonight. Deserved to round off his performance with a goal, but just got it all wrong with the finish. And only seconds remaining. Lifted forward, referee checking his watch. One more attack for Herediano. It's Vega on this left side. Crossing in, and it's claimed by McCarthy. And there is the full-time whistle. The end of the game, of the round, and maybe the Galaxy's season-starting slump as they turn this around at home with a big result that they desperately needed. And it puts them into the quarterfinals of the Concacaf Champions Cup as it finishes tonight at Dignity Health Sports Park. LA Galaxy 4, Club Sport Herediano 1, and on aggregate in this round of 16, the Galaxy 4, Herediano 2. He helped turn it around. Julian Aude, his goal in the 30th minute, gave the Galaxy that vital first goal that they needed so badly. Everything flowed from there for LA and for their home supporters. A goal 8 minutes later that put them on top at the break. Miguel Berry tucking it home from the goal line. Christian Ramirez added a 4th late on after Gabriel Peck scored the 3rd early in the second half. There was a consolation goal from Jose Gonzalez in the 82nd minute that briefly raised a few faint hopes of another miraculous Herediano comeback, but they did not create another opportunity as the Galaxy managed the final minutes very well. And it has been the silver lining in this so difficult early portion of the season for them. With all the injuries they've had to play the kids. So many times fans clamor for that. So many times it doesn't really work out. Kids often aren't ready. These kids seem to be, and they certainly played like it tonight. In just a moment, we'll hear from players on both teams. We'll show you our full-time stats and highlights from the 90 minutes tonight as the Galaxy cruise home in the end. A game that looked like it might be very challenging. They made it look easy, and they prevailed by 4-1.
Maybe they did that again. I thought we were like, I thought we were. Let's go, hey.
Obviously, it was a tough result tonight. What were the biggest challenges facing the Galaxy tonight?
The Galaxy es un gran equipo, hizo un buen juego. Creo que nosotros empezamos bien, por ahí ellos tuvieron la oportunidad de anotarnos y al final recibimos muchos goles. Creo que es una alta intensidad la que ellos tienen, es el campeón de la MLS y es entendible.
Despite getting knocked out of the tournament, what were some positives that you can take from the competition?
La competición obviamente es muy exigente para nosotros los centroamericanos. Siempre entendemos que venir aquí contra estos equipos es complicado para nosotros. Sin embargo, creo que mostramos una buena cara en Costa Rica. Hoy no fue una buena cara, pero sin embargo es un aprendizaje para nosotros para lo que viene.
Okay. Good luck back in Costa Rica.
Thank you.
Danny Carvajal there for Herediano, talking about how this competition is always difficult for Central American teams, and the Galaxy is such a strong team defending MLS Cup champions, but they'll go back and focus on their season in Costa Rica, and they were proud to take part.
How's it feel to finally get a win tonight, and especially in such a decisive fashion?
It's important for us, right? We're the LA Galaxy, and we knew that we had to win tonight. The guys on the team are excellent on and off the field, and we're detail-oriented, and we believe always to the last minute. So it's important to get a win, and we're going to put this one away, and we're going to go again for the next match.
What were some of the specific qualities you guys showed tonight that give you confidence in advancing through this tournament further?
I think for me, it's ball control, speed of play. Coach says it all the time, is being in the right position at the right time. And today you could see glimpses of that. And the juices were flowing. 1, 2, 3, and all 93+ minutes, we keep going. And it's good to get some goals going. So
good luck in the next round.
Thank you.
Here are the final numbers then for tonight's second leg. The Galaxy outshooting Herediano 14-9. The corners, not a lot, just 3 for Herediano, only 2 for the Galaxy, but they didn't need corners tonight. They scored 4 from open play. They had 66% of the ball. That was expected. The question was, what could the Galaxy do with their possession tonight? And the answer was quite a bit. And we'll see the highlights and how they did that in just a moment. So here were the highlights from the 90 minutes. The Galaxy started the night a goal down on aggregate after losing the first leg 1-0, but they got level in the 30th minute. The ball in, redirected so deftly by Julian Aude. Again, the Galaxy's young stars shining brightly tonight. A breakthrough night for them, and that was the breakthrough goal. And then 8 minutes later, they would grab a second one after Aude. It's worth seeing a few times. It's such a good finish, a difficult technique, taking it on the volley like that. And then in the 38th minute, they scored the goal that put themselves in front in the tie for good. It was acceleration to the end line from Tucker Lepley, and then laid it across. The first-time volley by Isaiah Parente, and turned in on the goal line by Miguel Berry for his first of the season. Initially, there were suspicions of offside, but on the replay, we saw an Herediano defender standing basically on the goal line, so that rendered Miguel Berry onside. And then early in the second half, the Galaxy, who at that point were still susceptible to the away goal, but not after this, Gabriel Peck arriving at the perfect time. And it was another teenager, Harbor Miller, 17 years old, setting him up perfectly. And it was 3-0 to the Galaxy on the night, 3-1 on aggregate. Gabriel Peck, who is classy tonight, got his goal. And then it would be 4 shortly after, off the bench, Amiro Garces, another perfect setup, and this time to Christian Ramirez, who just came on a few minutes earlier, and he gets his first goal of the season. That's an important goal for him because, like the rest of the team, it had been a very difficult start to life in 2025 for him, but he's on the score sheet now. There was a late consolation goal for Herediano. Good goal as well. Jose Gonzalez with a fine finish into the top corner on the second phase from a corner kick. It's a good ball in, too, as the assist to Axel Quiroz. Maybe a late comeback, but no, Herediano could not find another. 4-1 the final on the night, 4-2 overall. So the Galaxy proceed through to the quarterfinals. They will face Tigres of Mexico in a big quarterfinal clash. And we'll look forward to bringing that to you So for our entire great production crew, I'm Donnie Barnes saying good night from Dignity Health Sports Park here in Carson, California, where again it finishes this evening in the second leg of the round of 16 tie. On the night, the LA Galaxy 4, Club Sport Herediano 1. On aggregate, it was the LA Galaxy 4, Herediano 2. Good night from Southern California.